forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace. Hey guys, so just finished watching Powerless, Season 1, Episode 8, Green Furious. This episode was very fun. It was really an interesting episode, and I liked it. It was glad this episode actually felt inside of the DC Universe with all the references to the Justice League, to actually having Green Fury and the Olympian in this episode. Now, we've seen a bit of those two characters, but they're kind of interesting characters. I think they're kind of cool. They actually have powers, whereas I forget the girl in the first few episodes, all red there, she didn't really have much powers because all she could do is lift heavy things and fly a little bit and jump and stuff. So nothing really unique. Whereas Green Fury, she looks her costume is a little weird. I'd like to see it better if we're going to see it all the time. But I think it definitely is a cool look for her costume. I think it kind of looks good, and it actually is pretty interesting, and I think I like it the way they're doing this. And I like seeing these characters on there. I'm glad that it is inside of the DC Universe. Now I'd like to see them maybe after this season change it up with a different one and not have a Green Fury and the Olympian in as much. Maybe have them in 1 or 2 episodes, but just get someone else to be a little bit more in. But I like to see in these episodes where you have episodes like this with full-on characters inside of it. Now it doesn't have to be every single episode, just as long as the fact that it makes sense that every episode deals with a superhero in some shape or way. So I love how they got back to the products that they have and stuff, although we never saw them working on the product. And the one thing I would have liked that would have made this episode way better is if they had Adam West come back and do some voiceover for the commercial that they did at the end. When they finally did the commercial and they had someone come on that says the Wayne poncho does not protect against rain or magic or anything like that, which is funny. I think that was hilarious. That would have been way more hilarious with Adam West's voice, in that if they had a bunch of it protects against fire, this, and then but everything else doesn't. And had Adam West list off a bunch of things with his iconic voice, it would make it even funnier, and people would definitely recognize it. So I think it would have been better to have Adam West do that. Even if just those 2 lines would have been perfect. And he's always in a sound booth, whether it's for Family Guy or any cartoon. He's constantly in the sound booth. Even now, he's even doing those cartoons. He did that Batman 66 Return of the Caped Crusader. So while he's doing that, just have him do a bunch of lines for Powerless. That would be awesome. So getting back to this episode again, kind of with Green Fury and Olympian and stuff, it was cool kind of seeing the relationship between the two, and kind of seeing how the paparazzi are dealing with superheroes in this universe. That's something that you never see in Batman v Superman. I mean, you see the negative thing, the price that Superman gets in Batman v Superman and New Superman's reaction to it, but you don't really see it from the paparazzi's perspective as much as you saw this episode, or from another person's perspective. So it was kind of cool. It's kind of cool seeing that. I like seeing how, having these characters, dealing with them, and seeing all this stuff. Would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit more of a villain in this, but otherwise it was just a really fun episode. And I love the whole commercial thing. And I love to see them do this with more often, and doing commercials and building different products and having a superhero friend and stuff like that, and then using a superhero to test out their product. I think that would be really cool. Is that they made products and had to test them out for different things. So maybe their rubble umbrella that they made before, maybe do another commercial with that later on, and have Green Fury throw fireballs at it, and you're just protecting it with your shield. I think that would be really cool to do that. I think it would be, there's just so many cool ideas. It would be awesome to see them make a product, and then later on they do a commercial with a superhero or without a superhero, or I don't know. I just think it would be really cool to do that. And then I think it'd be cool in some episodes to do other commercials like this, where you try to get this superhero, but you can't get that superhero, but you need that superhero because of their power set, or you need this supervillain because of their power set, but you're not going to get those supervillains or something like that. So I think that would be really cool. I like that, and also would like to see a little bit more references to superheroes. If they have People magazine or gossip magazines like that in there, it would be really cool to see them gossips have Superman on the cover of some of them. It doesn't have to be Henry Cavill, doesn't have to be like that. It can be anyone, and just kind of say, it's rumors between Batman and Wonder Woman and their relationship, stuff like that. I think that would be more interesting, and it would make it really feel inside of the universe, inside of the DC universe. Now, that can't be the only thing within the episodes to be connected to the DC universe. I think it's just another thing that would help it and would be more interesting to see, and would be fun parts that you wouldn't see in the movie, or you've never seen in before in the DC universe. So I think it would be really cool to see that, see more gossip magazines, maybe TMZ type thing, following up on on the superheroes, and I'd love to see more of that to really make sure, to really remind you that this is in the DC universe, because I feel like there are a lot of episodes in the show that don't remind you that it's in the DC universe, yet this one really does. So this one is pretty cool. It definitely is a good episode. Now, if I wouldn't be an episode I would show someone who's not a DC fan, or who's a DC fan but not watching the show, to get him into the show, just because this episode doesn't, like, Green Fury doesn't look like her comic book counterpart. Other than the name, if you don't know what the name is, you wouldn't know who she is, unless you read a lot of Green Fury comics. So you wouldn't really recognize her in this just on the face value. If he didn't tell you who this actress was in this green suit, you wouldn't know that that's Green Fury. The Olympian, though, you might be able to recognize him, though. So it definitely was an interesting episode, and I really liked it. Them getting back to the DC universe connection, and being the fact that it's in the DC, takes place in the same universe. Batman exists and stuff like that. And I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a reference, though, to Bruce Wayne being at this meeting, at this board meeting, before they were talking about destroying this poncho and stuff like that. Why was Bruce Wayne there? Now, it makes sense that Bruce Wayne if Bruce Wayne wasn't there because he was Batman or something like that. I don't know. I think it would have been really cool to see, to have a scene where someone says, "Oh, isn't Bruce Wayne going to be there?" He's like, "Yeah, he's supposed to be to these things, but he never really shows up. He's always up partying all night, and apparently he really went hard last night." And right as he says that, you could see on the news, Batman just catches the Joker, or Batman just had a fight with so-and-so, and that would be like, So he just went out drinking last night, but really he was out fighting villains. So I think that would be really cool to see that. I'd like to see Bruce Wayne used in that way without actually seeing him, and then it would be fun to see that. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode of Powerless in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.